So number 1 is giving us two equations with pretty complicated exponents in them. The first one is that a to the -6/7 is equal to c to the -4. Then the other one is saying that b to the 6/7 equals d to the +4. And what they want to know is a times b to the -3/7. So before freaking out when you see something like this, you want to pause for a little and see if you could figure out the relationship between some of these terms. So obviously we see AB raised to the -3/7. The first thing you should realize is that when you raise two things that are multiplied by each other to one power, it's the same as doing this, as saying A to the -3/7 times b to the -3/7. So if we first focus on a to the -3/7, we see a similarity if we look at this equation up top and this equation down there. If we want to go from -6/7 to -3/7, I'm hoping that you're realizing that this is literally just half of that. So if we want to half an exponent and basically multiply it by half, we can't multiply because we know that with exponent rules, when we multiply things, we end up adding the exponents. So if we want to multiply with exponents, we have to raise an exponent to another power. So if we take this equation with the a and the c and raise both sides to the half power, that's basically like multiplying each one of the exponents by a half. So -6/7 multiplied by a half is now going to be a to the -3/7. If you multiply -4 to the 1/2, you're now going to get c to the -2. So if we know that we're looking for a to the -3/7 in terms of c and d, then we're just going to put this in up here. Then what we get is, if we focus on this second equation, we have b to the +6/7, and we need to get to b to the -3/7. So in addition to raising it to the half, this time we have to raise it to the -half because we're starting with a positive on this side. So if we raise both of these up to the -half, we now then get b to the 6/7 raised to the -half gives us b to the -3/7. And then 4 raised to the -half is just going to be -2. So now we already have exactly what they're asking for us down here as well. So we're going to put this in over here. So now if we want to get this times this, it's the same as c to the -half times d to the -half. But if we look at our answer choices, we don't see anything with c to the -2 times d to the -2. So it's requiring us to remember what a negative exponent is. And what we want to remember is that, first of all, we can change this to cd raised to the -2. And when we have a negative exponent, all it means is that we're going to put it as 1 over the positive version. So if we rewrite that, it's going to be 1 over cd to the +2, which in this case is answer choice A.